I am guided by imagination, open to my creation, creating wins and celebrations. Don't be overwhelmed by information, more important than education. Be inspired by your exploration, on the path to your destination, leading to innovation. Yes, you are guided by imagination. Hello and welcome to the Guided by Imagination podcast. I'm your hostess, Jenny Edwards, and I'm really happy today because I have a great friend and guest on the call today. Welcome, Kate.
Hey, Jenny. Thanks for having me.
Yay. Thanks for being here. Kate Janecko is a really awesome woman that I know, that I am so thrilled to have her share some of her stories of amazing imagination and adventure and awesomeness. So if you haven't met Kate yet, she is a holistic health and life coach, and her business is called Soul Shaker. Isn't that awesome? Soul Shaker. And she helps women kick habits to live a more radiant life. And Kate's also a best-selling author, and she's a frequency practitioner. Do you want to tell us any more about that, Kate?
Sure, yeah. So I work with a system that scans frequencies of your voice and your body, your energetic imprint, to see where you may have imbalances and help optimize your energetic field, your aura, and I can work with anybody pretty much globally. It's really an incredible technology that's been around for quite a while, and I am really enjoying the process of that.
Ooh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's super unique, and I hadn't heard about it before meeting you, so that's super amazing. Just all these ways that we can use tools to live a more radiant life. So I wanted to bring that in, some of the gifts and things, some of the talents and things that you have. And I'd like to first ask you, how has imagination made a difference in your life?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, Jenny. And, I've been pondering this question since you asked me to be on the podcast. And, I guess sometimes I get stuck, is this my imagination, or where, oh my gosh, what is that? So sorry. Hold on. Jenny, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Can that be edited out?
Yeah.
An alarm went off on my phone. I must have set way earlier.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't even hear it.
So, you want to do just count down 3, 2, 1, and I'll answer that question again, or do you want to just do the question again? Okay.
I can. I'll just do a 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
I'll flag that part here. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny, for asking me about imagination. I've been pondering this question since you invited me to your show. And, so one of the stories that I was thinking about was when I was a little girl. I was probably in first or second grade, and I had this knowing that if we sat on, me and my friend Monica, I was like, if we sit on the ground and we hum this noise and hold our hands and sit cross-legged and put our hands facing upwards, and we hum for, a period of time, that we would get a lot of energy so that we could run around during recess and not run out of steam. And at the time, I really didn't know what any of that was, or why I had this. And as I grew up and learned about energy, and then went to yoga and learned about sound frequency and just the different noises that we can make to activate different parts of ourselves, I realized that what I was doing was actually a frequency healing on us, similar to what the Om does in yoga. and it boosted our energy and it grounded us so that we could go and play and have fun for an extended period of time.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I love that. And did you imagine something like while you were humming? Did you guys make that? Because I love the spirit of like imagination play, especially as a kid. You know, you can come up with all these scenarios of like, okay, here we are. We're in this in this space.
No, I don't think I can remember if we did or not, but I just felt like that. I felt like it was from my imagination. Like I didn't know where it came from. It just all of a sudden was there. And I really like to think like our imagination is our higher self sometimes speaking to us. And it's like when we follow that nudge, you know, and I can think of other ways imagination has definitely shown up and continues to now in my life, and how working with your imagination helps heal your inner child and opens creativity, and there's just so much benefit to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you are doing this work now and you realize that, wow, it started when I was a child and I didn't know why. It just had this idea, and now you've incorporated that into your business and your practice and how you help others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so funny that you said that, because it makes me think of, have you ever heard, I don't remember where I heard it, but it was like, you know, kids, we send them to school, we make them do all these things, and they lose their imagination. And then they become adults and they like don't love their job, or they don't love this. And I think one of the keys to living a life that's radiant is reconnecting to that imagination, to that creative side of yourself, to the little girl or little boy inside of you that just wants to be acknowledged and recognized and said, hey, let's like color for the day, or, you know, listening to those little nudges.
Oh, yeah. I definitely can relate to that, too, especially as being a mother of two little girls, because sometimes you just need some permission to play and permission to step into that space, that imagination space. Whereas adults, we don't often have those permission times on our schedule.
Yes, no, we don't.
Well, that's a great call to action, too. If you were going to invite our listeners, perhaps we could come up with a little invitation to do something that could activate their imagination, just like they were kids again. You know, maybe it's engaging in or putting on their schedule some imagination time to draw, like you mentioned, or just sit down and with a coloring book, or coming up with something creative like you about the frequency. Is there anything else that you could maybe foresee an invitation to our listeners?
Yeah, so I can definitely see you made me think of something that I do with my clients already, is I have them create a list of different ways that they can activate creativity in their day-to-day life. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can just be like not following a recipe, you know, and just like making dinner just however feels good in your body. And it's these little ways that we can really step into that imagination, creativity, whatever. So yeah, I'd love to offer your listeners a guide to creating their creativity.
Ooh.
Or day-to-day play.
Yes, I love
and things
that
are really easy to do too for people who live a busy life. I think those are the people that need it the most.
Ooh, that's so good. How can people connect with you and learn more about that?
So my business is thesoulshaker.com, but I'm going to send you a link and you can put it in the show notes, and then that way they can click on the link, give me their email, and I will send that right over to them.
Perfect. So if you're listening to this, definitely check out the show notes so you can get access to that awesome tool to integrate more imagination, more creativity into your daily life, and definitely connect with Kate and learn how you can be a soul shaker. That's so great. Anything else that you want to add?
I don't think so. I feel really great about this, and I feel so grateful that you invited me to share on your podcast. And I do have to agree or just make a note that you are a wonderful mother, and
Aww.
I love watching the way you show up with imagination and creativity in your day-to-day life. You are definitely a living, walking example of what you preach.
Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words. Speaking from the heart. Yeah, I feel like so much is, it's all in your imagination. Whatever you want. If you want to follow the positive thoughts, I choose to follow the positive thoughts, not the negative parts of my imagination. And you just create. What do you want to create? And I'm sure you can relate to that as being a life coach too, because it's all in how you perceive your goals and dreams. Like, what are you choosing to have a radiant life? How can you make that change? How can you start with today and little slight changes to really shift you into being the best person, the best version of you?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you being here and sharing your story and sharing some insights and also sharing the invitation to the listeners. So let's all take a look at our daily routine and add more play, add more creativity, tap into our imagination. And the purpose of this podcast is to help share these stories from like-minded people, of stories that they've created change, so that we can all really choose to live our best life full of happiness, joy, love, and empowerment. So thanks so much for listening, and have an amazing day. Bye.
Bye.
If you want to activate your imagination and creativity and have more fun in front of the camera with your photos and videos to market your business online or share your message to make a difference in the world, I'd love to offer you a complimentary 30-minute inspiration session, a Zoom room that we can set up and chat about ideas and inspiration to make your day a celebration with Guided by Imagination. Click the link in the show notes.